think, Dante?
I think it's beautiful.
My beautiful baby girl.
One of 4. You had quads.
I think we all saw the day coming. We all knew it was gonna happen, but the Lexus is getting lowered. I can't help it. It's a disease. We have to do it. In all seriousness, the suspension is in really bad shape. I've talked about it time and time again, especially in the last video, about these little guys, my ball joints for the rear. I found out there's another set of ball joints on a lateral arm, which I now ordered. I ordered an entire bushing kit, which is supposed to be here today. Still don't know where it is. It's getting a little late. I have just about everything I need to fully rebuild the suspension.
But am I gonna?
Suspension clugs bother the shit out of me, and I want to fix them as soon as possible. And you know, obviously suspension stuff is can be a safety issue. I don't really consider my suspension all that safe. Lexuses somewhat often will blow a ball joint out and leave you stranded or worse with body damage, etc. The replacement shocks that the previous owner had put on are low quality. They probably reused the, well, I know they reused the original springs, so the ride height on the LS400 is very bad. In fact, one of the corners on the car already looks lowered. So, particularly this driver rear side, okay, it's not really quite to the point where it's lowered, but it's both the driver's side corners are significantly lower than the entire car. It looks terrible. Alright, I just ran home to go get my Miata so I can drive back here so I can have a car back and forth. We have a sack of bushings. So these are made by a company called PSB, Problem Solving Bushings. They probably come with lube. They're polyurethane, which means they're probably going to be a little less comfortable but more durable. And but that also means they're probably going to perform a little better as far as handling goes. Just notice we have notes. Fuck that. Send it. Have fun. Be safe. Oh my god. They're everywhere. What the fuck happened? Chrome? Sick. So clear, so sick. Wow, hail damage? Sick gray mod, bro. Well, obviously that is someone who is a great fan of my work and decided to come and leave me love messages. As far as the gap that we're going to be doing, wow, that is huge. That's 4 fingers right now. We got to pass the Mighty Car Mod's cool test, which, if I remember correctly, is 1 or 2 fingers, something like that. Or no fingers, I'm not sure. I'm not going to super dump it. Well, yet. To start, I'm just going to go lower. I'm going to get the ride height even. I'm going to make sure everything's not clunking and feeling good. I just bought these tires, so I want a lot of life out of them. But once those are done wearing, then I'll probably get some nice wheels and we'll do like an actual fitment deal. So one thing that I really like about these coilovers is they actually, there's a note on them that says that the preload is adjusted from the factory, which means I don't really have to worry about that, and it should be preloaded according to the car's weight already, which is really nice because, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know how to adjust preload properly. So the BC coilovers on the Miata just had me, I think, stick the spanner in between it, and then you had to like tighten it to the point where the spring wouldn't move, and then put the locking collar up to it, and then tighten it more until you could fit the spanner in between it, and that was your preload adjustment. This is already set, so all we gotta do is play with ride height and make it sick. Well, it looks like somebody got all the way into my engine bay and left lots of things. Forget to plug me in again. Son of a bitch. So, I replaced the throttle position sensors. According to this sticker, the traction light is still on. Let's see if that's true.
Oh, I put one on your belts.
Started up, and now we hear some belt issues. Anyway, the track light's gone. It's the first time this car has had no lights on.
It squeaks again. It's making
My
noise.
belt squeaks again due to tape. Alright, so we have all our bushings. We got the coilovers and the replacement control arms. Here we go. I'm gonna get started by removing the back seats. Alright, so we are now looking at the top of the shock tower. Unfortunately, that's where our dampening adjustment dial is going to be. So until I get it dialed in, the dampening that is the way I want it, I'm going to leave the rear seats out. But anyway, that should be enough for us to drop that strut. So I'm going to go ahead and get the car in the air. Oh, and real quick, I would like to say, first of all, thank you everybody for supporting me and doing all that you do. I'm trying to invest in myself. I just bought a new camera recently, so hopefully the picture quality looks great. The audio quality hopefully will be better. I bought a shotgun mic as well. The thing about shotgun mics is they're directional. If the audio is ever not so good, it's probably because the shotgun mic is facing away from me, and that's something I'm trying to get used to. So, I apologize, but hey, we're learning. And we're gonna have a lowered LS, so time to lift it up. A quick note on the Harbor Freight jack stand recall. So first of all, jack stands are incredibly important. You need them to be safe. If you are working on a car and it is not on jack stands, you are not working on it safe unless you're on a lift. The Harbor Freight jack stands did have a recall. I highly suggest Googling it and looking online. You can find the recall readily available, and you need to make sure that your product number is not one of these faulty jack stands. People have been hurt. We have gone through all our jacks. All of them are safe. The ones that were recalled were replaced, so hopefully those don't have any issues either. You know you've worked on cars too much when you see red on your knee and you think you just kneeled in grease. But it's blood. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to try and make this as straightforward as possible. After looking at this, these ball joints are clearly a problem. We already have those, we're expecting to replace them. I'm going through with that. The sway bar end links aren't broken. These other bushings don't really look that bad. To be perfectly honest, even these control arm bushings are fine. Now, the other thing is these shocks were replaced by a guy that worked out Discount Tire before I owned it. And he got the replacement parts from, like, Discount. And it was, like, XLG KYBs, I believe, which aren't bad. And the front ones are, what, these, whatever the hell that brand is. The bump stop's all chewed up. It's not on there correctly, which I am just now noticing. We have that upper strut mount looks crappy. This shock doesn't even look all that new. After sticking my pry bar in here, a lot of this stuff is new. If you remember, I went through the front suspension. Okay, we already got these upper control arms, so those, the bushing are new. This lower thing, I guess, lower ball joint, really. The only thing that I'm concerned about is up here. You have these radial arms, and they have a bushing, a real big one. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I might wait, because I think that my clunking from the front end is this strut. Because I figured these struts might be a problem, and if I'm going to go ahead and do a set of 4 struts, it would be like $300, whereas coilovers are like $600. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to spend an extra $300 and get the adjustability and probably higher quality than OE replacements, even if it is Chinese coilovers. That being said, for this particular session, I think what I'm going to do is I'm only going to do the coilovers in the front. And then for the rear, it looks like a lot of these other bushings are still intact for these arms, and it doesn't even look like these lateral arms if they don't get in here in time. I thought it would be easier to do it all as a whole. I might just do those later when they come in. So this may actually be a much quicker job than I thought. But this nut that holds this ball joint on is going to be incredibly hard to get to. Literally 10 seconds after removing this wheel, let's see. Can it be done? Just as I barely undo the control arm out of the way. Out. Sleeping Beauty comes. Yeah. What a piece of junk, man. Now it's time to go pink. Pink! Okay. Hopefully this goes in pretty painlessly, and honestly that'll be about done for the front. I mean, for now, I enjoy suspension work, I'm not gonna lie. And the thing about coilovers is going in, they're always a lot easier because they're lots shorter. Holy pink. Wow. Pink! Okay, so with everything in position, I just used a floor jack to raise the whole knuckle, and I just got the through bolt on the bottom of that shock through. So, really easy. I mean, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about adjusting coilovers because I am not an expert. Basically, this locking ring keeps this spring perch in place, so just double check that those are tight, and then once it is, you can use this upper spring perch to spin the whole thing in and out of the shock body, and then you'll tighten it with this lower locking collar. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure what the best way to do this is, but I'm going to tell you my way. So I just get a ruler and or a measuring tape, and I just go from the top of this spring perch to like the bottom of, I usually try and go for the collar. Right there, that's looking like about 4 inches. So I'm going to try and match that on the other side. The number is pretty meaningless, but just to start off at a relatively even ride height. So we got a pretty eaten up bolt head. I did not do that. I'm guessing that was from the kid that put the shocks in. All good. Luckily it's the through bolt. Now when you have a through bolt and a nut, generally it's a lot easier just to unthread the nut because there's a lot less resistance on it. So as long as I can hold this while I torque it, we'll be okay. But still, I mean, damn dude. Pretty thrashed. Alright, my fellow goblins. We got both the fronts on. Went by surprisingly quick. I'm going to try and show you this. And so this is where things become painful. So, we just struggled. We got that out. Fell on my head. Oh, look at that. That bushing looks pretty toast. Again, I think these were totally cheap shocks. Okay, so this upper control arm. This ball joint is causing, I believe, most of my noise. There's a large amount of play in it. It's dangerous. Now, the problem is, the nut is right there. See it?
No! God, please, no! No!
And as you can see, there is hardly any clearance between that nut and the CV axle. Okay, fender liner is out, which means this harness here apparently, well, obviously is, you know, right above the wheel. Okay, a lot of people have had problems with going so low They make contact with this, rub a hole in it, and their car go boop boop. So, there seems to be a lot of debate on how to do this. Some people say there's just a connector over here somewhere. Undo it, reroute it. I might have to do a little more research. I'm gonna go look at the other side and see what we're dealing with. Okay, got the other side out. That fell out from over here, whatever the hell that was. So again, kind of got the same thing going on. I don't really know what the best way to go about this is, so I'm gonna do more research tonight. Probably get those CV axles to the point where I can slam them off tomorrow and take it easy for the rest of the night. I suppose we should read some of Dante's notes. Lol, missing something? Yeah, I am. It's in the trunk. God, could you get worse handwriting? Remember me? Throttle position sensor? Yeah, I do. Oh my god. I want one. I do too. Dang, is that a 2JZ? Yep. Oh my god, is it off a tooth? Alright, that was a reference for my timing belt video. There's another one on my damn belt, which is now going to be making noise. Until I can get it off, asshole. Found one on the muffler. No brop. No brop. Stock suspension. Wow. Well, look where it lay now. Not for long. Brop, brop. Oh, wait. It just says, He probably disapproves that it's automatic, but I wouldn't want an LS any other way, baby.